Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teliosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. We're in Ephesians 2, a great section on understanding the gospel and accepting Christ, making salvation efficacious for a person. We're in verse 7. We've covered the first few words, and we start today on tis, which is actually the sixth word in the verse. So get your Greek Bible out, hopefully with the codes, and have a grammar available, perhaps even the one that's on our website. Read my disclaimer on the website and other information there as well. So let's go to the text. We start with tis, T-O-I-S. Again, this is a short word, and it starts with tis, so we think of a article. And indeed it is. That O-I-S ending is, of course, the dative plural, masculine or neuter. It goes with the first part of the phrase, and I really should have presented this last week, and I'm sorry. So that in the ages to come, he might show. So in the Greek, it's in order that he would show in the ages the coming. Okay, we'll come to the word coming. So the next word, which we'll do that now, orchomenes. Okay, so again, this is a verb form, so we want to basically break it down, and so we understand it. Again, as I always say, you don't have to do this. I'm trying to help you understand as much as we can the Greek behind what's in the New Testament for education purposes. But you can always look at the codes. I'm sure over time you'll just learn to recognize the forms. So we start with the prefix. Is there a prefix? Yes, epi is on there because the next letter is a vowel, but the I on the epi disappears, so you have ep. There's no augment, as it is a participle. Remember, the perfect participles will retain a form of the augment, but otherwise the augment is the past tensive indicative. Urko, that is the root word, okay, for just to come, very common, urkomai. And then the O represents the connector, the vowel connector between the root and the ending that specifies the verb form and the person and number. O represents, and E represents the connector for the present and future tenses, and the aorist passive, and the second aorist. So I'll take that back on the aorist passive, just the second aorist, and the future and the present tenses. So that O tells us something here. Future participles are very rare, so this is telling you it's probably a present tense. MEN is next. That tells you it's a passive participle. Like in English, we would say ED, founded, that sort of word. And OIS matches that of the TOIS, and it tells you again it's the dative, plural, masculine, or neuter. So it's taking, again, the second declension ending here. So the phrase then, that in the ages to come he might show. So the ages, the coming is how it is in Greek. So you see the repetition of the article. Greek can do this. It could also leave out the second article. Why is the second article there before coming? We don't know. Probably emphasis, the emphasis on the coming. Why is the article before the participle? And we don't know exactly. I think it's probably emphasizing the noun form of the participle. Remember, a participle can be sort of part adjective, which can also act like a noun, excuse me, and part verb. So the coming. Why am I saying coming instead of come? It came. So that's because, remember, erkomai is a deponent verb. So its dictionary form is in the passive, and it's translated like an active. So we have that in the ages to come. He might show the exceeding riches of his grace. So the next word here, tone, is T-O-N, short word, starts with a T. That O-N ending indicates the singular accusative masculine ending. Uperbalentota matches this, and again, it's a participle. Let's break it down. Uper is the prefix. There's no augment. Balo is the root word. That O connector tells you it is a masculine, a present tense participle. NT tells you it is the present or the active form of a present or a future participle. Okay, so the A, of course, is the accusative, singular, masculine ending, does not match the tone, tells you it's taking a third declension ending. It differs from that of the past tense or the passive ending of the erkomai participle, that being taking the second declension endings. Woo, a little complicated. Again, you'll learn to recognize them and know that they're talking about participles and the overcoming. So how do we say this? In the coming ages, which overflowing, then the last word we'll deal with today, Pluton, riches. In the singular, you see the on ending. It gives, again, the accusative masculine singular, matches the tone, matches the third declension ending of the accusative singular in the overflowing riches. So what do we have so far? That in the ages to come, you might show the exceeding riches. Okay, so we'll stop there. That's a lot today. Again, these verbs, break them down, or erkomenes. Again, this is ep, it's the prefix. Erko, the root word. O is the connector for the present tense. Men tells you it's a passive participle. OIS tells you gender and number. Uperbalon, again, we have a prefix. Balo, the a root word. O, that present tense connector. But NT is the active participle, where we in English, we go overflowing. And the A, of course, tells you the gender and number in the third declension. All right, thank you for joining me today. We'll finish this verse next time. Hope that it's teaching you a lot of theology, this study, as well as Greek. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.